Hey there folks, this is Paul Oz and welcome to Shreddy Saturdays. This is going to be a video series specifically on Saturdays where we're going to learn some licks and talk about them a little bit. So, this little lick is one that I wrote. I thought I'd start off with one that I wrote to prove that it's going to be worth your time. And it involves some very interesting tapping, so here it is. We're in D standard for this little lesson too, by the way. So, what in the hell was that? Well, it was legato as hell on the left hand, that's for sure. And on the right hand, I was using these two fingers to tap, as opposed to just my regular, pointer finger or whatever, right? So here's the reason why I decided to do that. In order to get the same sound with just one finger, it would sound like this, right? You see how I'm starting to skip things? Obviously, if I sat down with a metronome and practiced specifically sliding with my middle finger, it could get quite good. But I want to have that strength of the ring finger being incorporated in my playing as well. And this was one easy way to start doing that. So if you have a tapping lick of your own, you can also try this. But I digress. Let's get to the actual notes of what we're playing here. So we're going 8, 11 on the A string, then 14 and 15 with your two fingers over here on the same string, and then we're going to go 7, 9, 10, 14, 15 on the D string. But then we have to pull off with our ring finger and our middle finger and go all the way back down. But then to make it circular, I had to add in an extra note. And what do you think that is? The 7th fret on the A string. So in total we have this. So if you noticed while I was playing that, I switched between two different pull-off styles. One of them was the typical pull-off that you would expect your left hand to do. Right? That's a reasonable thing to do if you pay attention to your left hand and mimic it. That's what your right hand would be doing. The other way was to pull off into the distance of time and space, as it were, which looks like this. Which can work, but I have to finesse that a little bit more, because if you'll notice, I kind of was a bit pitchy when I was doing it that second way. So it's better to just imitate your left hand in terms of the tapping and legato. If you look at the way that your hand frets notes, for example. You'll see how it's mostly the tip, and you'll see how your fingers are supposed to be when you're pulling off from the string, and it's a good way to actually learn. You're learning from yourself because your right hand is just mimicking the left hand. And you'll see that I'm also using the bridge pickup, which is different. Most of the time, tapping is done with the neck pickup, especially if it's clean tapping. But we're playing dirty here, boys! So let's try with the neck pickups and see the difference in sound. Neck pickups tend to have a little bit less output, and they're a little bit cleaner, so let's just see. The trick of having the neck pickup used for tapping is because everything cleans up just a little bit more, and that's really important if you've got a lot of gain. That, and you won't have to use, your sister's hair tie to keep your strings from ringing out if you use the neck pickup. Whereas with the bridge pickup, it can sometimes be a bit too hairy, and I feel like the high frequencies really want to scream a lot more. So that's the tip in terms of using high gain for tapping, and I really hope that you apply two-handed tapping in this way to your own licks. Why not? It's really great for extending melodies as well as extending your shred. So, for example, See, that lick was way more dynamic than if I just played it straight. I think that if I didn't use the right hand in terms of tapping and applying that kind of technique to it, maybe I would have played that a little bit more straightforward and it would be a bit more predictable. But using tapping in this way can really bring a lot of life into your playing. So we're going to recap the lick one more time, and that'll be it for Shreddy Saturdays, lesson 1. Obviously the scale that we're using is harmonic minor. We're not an A harmonic minor specifically, but G harmonic minor because we're down in D standard. I hope that you guys enjoyed this lesson. And hey, I teach guitar, by the way. If you want to get a slot, you have to email me at pauloz.com/lessons, and I'm filling up for fall. So you guys better hop on the hype train, alright? This Shreddy Saturdays lick is inspired by Christian Mjønsner's playing because the guy is incredible at this kind of tapping. And you guys should definitely check him out if you haven't heard of him already. He's from Obscura, he's currently in a band called Alkaloid, he was a necrophagist, the guy is a legend.